All right, y'all. October's here. You know what I am, who I am, what this is. Why start out with a preamble? I'm in a pretty decent mood today, so we're just gonna hopefully have fun and everything. I'm just gonna try to figure out why she looks like she's ready for a business meeting to sell real estate to some developers. Maybe she'll just play. I'll let Jolene explain it herself. Please go ahead.
Cheapers. This is a Scooby Doo top.
It
So
is.
yeah. See, I don't
Would
know.
have never noticed unless I looked up close. Okay, I see it now. I see
Yeah,
it now.
like there's a full there's a pantsuit too, but people that know recognize Daphne Blake's purple and with lilac trim. So this is
My
on
bad.
you. This is your bad.
This is my bad. This is on me. This is
So,
my bad.
so you saying ready to conduct a real estate scheme was very funny, just because of Scooby Doo. So,
I would have got away from it if it wasn't for those dastardly kids.
yep, damn meddling kids.
Those damn meddling kids. How's everything been?
It's good. It's good. Yourself?
Beyond fucking busy and good in a good way.
Yeah, that's all.
You know, I
Good
can't.
busy is good. So.
Busy is good. Yes, productive busy is good. Um, it's one of those things I was telling somebody yesterday. I'm tired, but I don't want to complain because I asked for this life. I asked for where I want to get busy and be able to do so many different things. And now that I'm at this point, I keep myself up. Like I take a little rest every now and then. I found out what that word means. So I take a little rest every now and then and just try to keep myself focused, which is why I'm in the gym so much because I want my body to be able to keep up with the rigorous schedule I put it through.
Totally.
So yeah, you look like you about to hold a seminar or you're a therapist. Of
I'm
that
like, I saw some trash on my one shelf. I'm like, let's get that out of frame.
So yeah, it's been good. It's been busy. Like I said, it's been busy. I can't complain. I soon when we're done with this, I have to go to a Black Adam screening,
Oh yeah.
watch it, and get it out the way.
Hopefully you
because-
have fun.
So this is what I've been hearing. All the critics and people
Yeah,
I know.
I listened to the episode today, so people praising acting of certain people in it. So
And then it's
it's
also
just whatever. It's just Black Adam. Why? I don't care. That's the problem. It's a character that
Dwayne
sucks.
Johnson. Everybody's like, he just saved the DCU. You're like, it is like you said, it's Black Adam. Can we calm down for a second?
Yeah, as you've talked about multiple times on the show, there's no one on Earth that could beat me. I'm like, no, literally, there's many people that can beat you on Earth. Like one of his is named Captain Marvel, the other
Yes.
is named Superman, and also this Captain Marvel has like 6 other family members.
It's a family. they can gang whoop your ass. But like I said on the show, I knew the only way Capital was coming back was he had him in because his manager's Danny Garcia.
Yeah, it's nice if Henry Cavill gets to make a Superman movie that Henry Cavill wants to make.
Oh, I'm going to laugh my ass off because he is going to get Man of Steel 2 and people going to be pissed because it ain't going to be Zack Snyder. And I'm
Good.
going to
Like,
cry laughing because that's what I want. Snyder doesn't like Superman.
yeah, and we know Henry Cavill is a good actor, and he clearly had heart and passion, but not for what he was doing.
Not for what he was like, I'm gonna go do this Witcher. So if y'all figure it out, call me.
He loves being Geralt, and he loves playing video games.
You're like Superman's a nerd.
I'm sure he doesn't mind not having to do the Superman physical fitness challenge.
Well, he's gonna go back, but look, also now that Walter Hamada's officially out, Hamada's gone, all that regime is gone. So
Yeah,
you can't make. But this is my issue. I feel like, and I just thought about this today. We're doing with Black Adam what Sony is doing with Venom.
it's so weird because it's
so weird.
And Black Adam, I cannot imagine it's anywhere near as fun as Venom was. Venom was embraced weirdness
It
and
just
like
embraced what it was. It was like, yo, we going full in on what we are.
yeah,
Cool.
it was silly. Black Adam has never been silly or in my opinion fun. Like I visited a friend 2 weeks ago and he said one of his favorite Justice Society characters was Black Adam. I'm like, why? When then I remembered, oh, you are kind of an edgelord, so this does make sense.
So it tracks. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's one of those things. It's like, okay, you're trying to build everything around Black Adam. Okay, he's violent. Then he's telling us, oh, we had to cut down some of the violence. We had an R cut. I was like, yo, why would you tell people?
Oh God.
See,
You know why they told people.
It's like, oh God, because now you're gonna have everybody. If the movie bombs, and it's not gonna bomb, by the way, because it's Dwayne Johnson. He doesn't bomb in theaters, but critical reviews are gonna be not even just critics. People are gonna be like, "Yo, it's Dwayne Johnson doing Dwayne Johnson with a super suit on." But the thing is, they're like, "Oh, people didn't like it." Well, maybe if they release the full cut with the extra violence, no.
Yeah, don't care. Look, I hope fun is had. That's really all that matters. Like, I love Pierce Brosnan. I like some JSA characters.
Look, I'm here for all.
I'm into Dwayne Johnson as an actor. I like him doing more sillier things, but I like him in Jumanji.
I feel like just be a villain, bro. Just be a villain.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Black Adam is a villain. He's
not an anti-hero.
Yeah, people think like he's a anti-hero just because Jeff Johns did the JSA run, but like he was never interesting in that.
No.
And they're like doing it again with him, but like he's just better off as a villain that Captain Marvel goes to beat up.
Just the soul.
But also like, I just want Captain Marvel. Like, just give me more Captain Marvel. That was fun.
You'll never say Shazam, huh?
No, his name is Captain Marvel. Because what is Mary's name? Mary Shazam? That's a terrible name. Mary Marvel's a good name.
That is fair.
Captain Marvel Jr. Was he called Captain Shazam Jr.? Shazam Jr.?
No, he's called Captain Marvel Jr.
Yeah.
I mean,
the rest I don't know.
That's why, like, you got both companies doing that because you got, like you said, you got DC going. We got to call them Shazam because they can't. And then you got Marvel Studios being like, so we got to change Atlantis up a lot because
which like they're both dumb. Just both use it. Like it's not. Like I'm interested because look, this dude looks incredible displaying Namor. I love like the aesthetics of everything, so that's really cool. But also, it's like you could still just be from Atlantis and also still have all of those roots.
It could be. I mean,
you could be both. You can have both.
But that's what it is. That's kind of what Atlantis is. Part of it underwater, though.
Yeah, but you could just say Atlantis. Just it doesn't matter if Aquaman also did it.
Yeah,
you've already referenced Superman in the Eternals, so like.
Yo, right. When you said Superman, everybody was like, excuse me, what?
Yeah, and it's like, I remember people like, it's weird, right? That's weird. I'm like, dude, Arrowverse has referenced so many Marvel properties, it's not even funny. Like, it's just a thing. They exist as comic books in the other world, which raises other questions, but they don't get deep enough into world building for that to matter, so.
I mean, I do like the fact that it's like, okay, comic book characters are comic book characters, but the comic book characters now, other comic book characters are live action. It's like, huh? It gets a little confusing at times when you got to say it, but also like, again, I was talking to somebody last night, and I was in Orange County doing the show, and it was a bunch of dudes, and we was all talking, and like, you know, all like nerdy kind of dudes, and they were all like, I want the X-Men. I was like, see, that's the problem.
I mean, like. Yes, everybody wants the X-Men, obviously.
Yes.
X-Men don't work as movies. Most superheroes don't work as movies.
They have to be introduced as Disney Plus series.
Yeah, like, X-Men only works really as a team. Because, like, Wolverine, sure, but solo X-Men are less interesting than Team X-Men.
No one gives a fuck about Cyclops.
I mean, I do, but he works better on a team.
I mean, look, Cyclops is the reason. Without Cyclops, there's no Cable. Okay, I get that. Without Cyclops, there's no reason for Mr. Sinister, who is just really, really weird. Mr. Sinister is not even a vampire. He is just a dude that really is like somebody need
Dude,
to check. Like he is the first incel. Like literally, he is obsessed with
uh,
Jean Grey.
he is a Volcel. Excuse you?
Oh
He is a
yes,
Volcel.
yes, he's voluntarily celibate. You're right.
Yes.
Because there are a bunch of people willing to give Nathaniel Essex mask. And
Yeah.
you're right. It's very true. Nathaniel Essex don't
And
want none,
none of them can live up to his standards,
which is very true.
which are himself. So
Himself.
he just
That's his
clones
only
himself. So,
standards.
yeah, he'll fuck, but only himself. So
And so it's like, okay, that's where Cyclops comes in. I get it. Storm, it really upset me because everybody being like, I only want to like people be like, yo, if we get T'Challa back, we can get T'Challa and Storm. I'm like, y'all keep talking about all these stories. Y'all just want that one story, and then you just can't do Storm just straight to Wakanda as queen. Like there's a whole bunch of shit that happens in between the two.
yeah, that does. All right. So I guess like let's talk about the T'Challa of it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, cause I listened to the show, and I'm like, at the time, obviously, nobody was like, why are people talking about recasting him? He literally just died. Shut up. Wait like 5 years, then you could maybe bring the subject back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still sort of my stance. Like, I'm pro recasting in general, but like, you can wait some time because chances are the crew doesn't want to recast, and that's what you got to go with. Like the people working on the movie.
Right, and that's what people, and that's what I think. That's what, like I've always said, that for the most part is what upsets me the most. Y'all being the general public keep being like, oh, they should do this. You don't take into consideration what the cast, the director, producers have to do. That's up. They gotta live with that for 6 months, however long they filming.
Yeah, and like, it's got to be, if the director doesn't want it, that's pretty much the end of the day. Unless, Feige's like, well, we have plans and we'll just replace you. Because studios can do that. Like, we have a plan. And, like, understandably, they don't want to do that right now. We don't know if they'll do that in the future, but they've got an easy out because there's literally a multiverse. So it's just like, oh, in this multiverse, he looks a little different. Or they just never bring it up. Like, I mean,
like, oh, they should have just waited to do the movie, and I'm like, no, y'all got to stop acting like y'all cool with them waiting to do the movie, because then you'd have been even more pissed if they'd have said, yeah, Black Panther Wakanda Forever ain't coming out to maybe 2026.
Yeah, no, like my theory, I guess, was if they recast, it would never be in the second movie. They might wait for that for a third movie, if anything. But like, nobody knows if they have any plans to recast. But if they do, I'm fine with it. Like, but because there's been enough time. Like, it's not just like, literally, there was just ghouls the day of, like, talking about. I'm like, yo, you could hold off on talking about this.
You can pause on that, right?
like, there's no rush right now with a pandemic. So, and it's just like, people can be terrible. Fandoms, as we've often talked, can be horrible.
Can be horrible.
Yeah, but like my theory is like the same as it's always been in regards to studio machines and like the we want to keep using, like, if a James Bond franchise, if like an actor dies in a minute, they'll recast the James Bond, but it's wildly different because it's always a different like cast, mostly a different cast with each movie.
Yes, it's not
mostly
right.
a different crew.
You're not just changing one person. You're changing pretty much everything about. You're starting just like Spider-Man. Everybody keep it like they recast Spider-Man. They recast every goddamn body.
Yeah, the closest thing I could example I could think compared to would be like soap operas. If an actor died in a soap opera, they would hold off on using that character for a while, but they would probably do a classic thing where, soap operas often did. They recast actors all the time. And chances are there's some actors that just like stay through it all, Like Susan Lucci played the same part for like 30 plus years.
Yes, she was.
But so like that's the closest thing because like that's the same cast and crew a lot of the times. Well, I mean, granted, you've got more ins and outs, I guess, because
leeway.
I guess people leaving to do other things with soap operas because it's daytime television.
But that's also the same thing when it comes. Look, I don't think people understand. Everybody is not going to commit now to Marvel like what Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., and Chris Hemsworth did in the beginning, because nobody knew when they were cast, nobody knew what this was going to be. People are like, yo, I'll do it for X amount of time, but like Winston Duke may get opportunities to do other stuff. Angela Bassett is always going to be busy.
Yeah, yeah. Like, so like when people like say, well, they recast General Ross, it's like y'all both said. I'm like, look, wildly different scenario. That
You
man
just
was
plug
not.
the person in,
Yeah, he was not the main character of a franchise. He
right?
was not like on the set every day with like other actors and crew members. Like, it's General Ross.
It's General.
Like, my question is like, I mean, I found answers from friends, but what, who was clamoring for Harrison Ford to leave one nerdy franchise that he hated to join a different nerdy franchise that he'll probably also hate?
That when they start asking him how, somebody said, I saw the greatest tweet. Somebody said, I cannot wait to see when he does a press junket and someone asks him about turning in Red Hulk and he just goes, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like, that man hated Han Solo, I think, since the beginning, which is like funny because he loved Indiana Jones. He still loves
Indiana
He
Jones.
still loves Indiana Jones. Like, but it's like, oh, Star Wars, shut up. But like Indiana Jones or literally any other movie he's made, he'll gladly talk about them.
I do not.
He's
get
a
it
weird
because
curmudgeon. So
he's a very, very, very big curmudgeon, because it's like, and then that's the thing. People are gonna get pissed when he don't give the answers they want him to give.
oh, it's like literally. I had this discussion in Discord. Alan Moore is an old bitter man, but if you were asked the same questions over and over again about companies that screwed you over financially, you would have a right to be old and bitter and be angry every time you're asked the same exact question.
Yeah, yeah. You'd have a right to be pissed off. Nobody could say anything like, "Yeah, you shouldn't be pissed." Everybody like, you know what?
It's like,
Got it.
people, you know what the answer will be, and you keep doing this for a headline, and it's just like, why? Talk to him about literally anything else, and maybe you'll get a different reaction.
And that's what people don't get. A lot of people don't get that, especially this, because now the thing is with journalism and press junkets and things like that, it has gone from the established journalists who are covering for major outlets and trades and stuff like that to, I work for a blog, I work for a website that's just this, and I'm going to ask these questions, and you don't understand that people get fucking tired of hearing that.
Yeah.
And now when you start having stars, it's like, I'm not doing a junket.
Yeah,
I'm not
like,
doing it.
but you shouldn't need, like, there's too much. Press junkets seem miserable. He's like, all right, you got 30 minutes with this group, 30 minutes with this group. Not even, right?
It ain't even 30.
I was being generous, so.
It's 5.
Then they're like, yeah. And it's just like, and also, like, on the other end, if you're like someone interviewing, you always think, I gotta ask something different. But then you gotta really think, like, how many people do the same thing? But like, some people like think of the right thing to ask to like freshen things up. I'm like, hey, I want to talk about this other thing. You were in it, but you also love it. So yeah, we'll have to like end on a good moment. But you never know, because like, it's a slog. It's all day for actors.
If you're the last one doing a press job, if you're the last outlet they talk to, you have the worst job ever.
Yeah.
Because at that point, if it's the end of the day and they've been talking since 9 a.m., 10 a.m., they don't give a fuck about nothing. Not
Maybe you'll get the best answers. Who knows?
Shit, I've not seen one. I've not heard of one. I'm so glad I've never been at that. No, I know better. I've had friends who told me, like, when you get to those last ones, it's like, it's not that you want to be rude or disrespectful to the person you talking to. It's just you're fucking exhausted. Like, people don't get that this is exhausting after a while.
Oh, I can imagine.
So, and then that's just through a camera. So, like, when I go do break room now, when I do break room for New Rock Stars, that's an hour, but it's an hour full of energy nonstop.
Yeah, and like, I can imagine things would be different if you're doing like a group junket when you've got like co-stars there. So like, people like to provide energy and for you to joke
Hmm.
with through all the things. But one on one, ugh, yeah, it's like I just want to sleep. I just want to like grab something to eat and then sleep. Leave me alone.
I remember I did. They had me do that hashtag show had me do Impact Wrestling because they were going. It was against all. It was whatever one they were going to Chicago.
Mm.
So it was cool. So I had to interview both Jordan Grace
All right.
and Moose.
Well, you win
When
some,
I
you lose some.
when I tell you, I could have killed myself after doing. Moose did his whole thing from his bed, laying down.
What? What? I mean, I don't want to say I respect Moose because it's Moose, but I respect the laziness, I guess. Like, fuck this. I do not care.
I'm
But it's
like,
got to suck for you. I'm sorry, Jay.
yeah, it's suckers. It's like, bro, I don't want to talk. I really don't want to talk to you either.
Yeah.
Like,
Like Jordan Grace is the good one to talk to, I think.
yeah, Jordan, because it's just you got to stay away from certain shit. Like this was right after her with the Chris Benoit comment, and so I
Oh
couldn't,
yeah.
I didn't want to. Because again, I was like, and one thing I always try to, whenever I interview wrestlers, the first thing I tell them, listen, I'm a worker as well. Blah blah blah. Been work. I literally, I qualify myself with them. I've been wrestling over 22 years. Blah blah blah. Pull back because all this. I'm back in, et cetera, et cetera. So I know how to handle this where the questions won't be the just general shit. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know how to make this go around. So the majority of the time, that's how I got cool with Tonga Loa, and things like that. Because it was like, oh, you one of the boys. Because they understood. It was like, oh, you one of the boys. And then when I interviewed Jordan, I was like, my buddy used to be on the roster with y'all, Marche Rockets. She was like, how you know Marche? I was like, I'm one of the soul touches with him. Oh, qualified me.
Yeah.
Moves I tried, and I was like, bro, this is the best I got. Like, just what the fuck?
Yeah.
I think I'm
Yeah.
good at my job, but damn,
Yeah. Some people are just like, no, don't care.
they don't care. And so again, when it comes to like,
I will say, my theory, you'll get that more often with dudes than you will with women. At least in wrestling, presumably. Like, there's like, no, we have because there's more pressure on women,
yeah, because
basically.
women have if a woman gives an interview and she seems so unenthused,
Oh yeah, it's gonna be the blowback. They'll never stop hearing it.
we'll never stop hearing it.
Yeah.
And it won't even be the problem is, let's say for instance, it's me, right? And I'm interviewing. Look, I hate trying to interview like people be trying to interview WWE wrestlers all the time, and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I understand they have a job, but also this might be their day off. Like you
Yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. You also like you got to go through public relations, and like there's a script basically. Unless you're like lucky enough to like get the New Day, and you can just like talk about real nerdy shit with them. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
When I tell you, I couldn't get. I remember when I was doing wrestling compadres, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can get Jason Ayers, who's one of the refs. I was like, I'll hit up Callisto, I'll hit up everybody. It was like Jason. When Jason told me, he said, "Bro, I can't do nothing." He's
Hmm.
like, not even just the fact, not even. I was like, do I have to go to public relations? He was like, no, I can't do anything because I'm a ref.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're not allowed to be characters.
They're not allowed to be characters.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had that discussion. So I wonder if things will change. We'll see. Time will
Because
tell.
technically, the announcers aren't supposed to be characters either.
Yeah, like
But
they'll never have another Mean Gene. Renee was the closest thing to a Mean Gene that they had.
I'm talking about the ones on the desk.
Yeah.
They're not
Oh
even supposed
yeah.
to be characters.
Like you will. It is interesting to notice that they are way better now. They're a lot better now. Because Vince is not shouting in their ears.
Their Vince
Michael
is not in
Cole
their
is
ear.
allowed to enjoy wrestling again, and that's great for him.
And he's allowed to enjoy it and say that he enjoys it.
Yeah, he's allowed to say wrestling.
Because that very first show, everybody when Corey Graves was like, I liked it when you didn't.
Yeah, like, oh, Byron Saxton's allowed to fight back now.
And that's why they pulled Byron Saxton. They got to get up off this desk, bro. They pull. Hey, bro, you go back because he does the MC stuff when they do the road.
Hmm. Like, I remember he used to be pretty good commentator on NXT back when he did it. So, and then like he became the yes man for the corporate bootlicker on announcing team. But that's Vince was gonna Vince.
I
Now,
mean, I was
like,
like, yo,
there's
did you would not want your career like in ring?
yeah,
But I guess it's like that's the choice. Like Corey Graves said when he got hurt, they were like, "Yo, we don't want to let you go. So whatever you want to do, let us know, and we'll see if you can do it." And he was like, "I'll just announce." And they found out he was good at the shit and was like, "Hey, bro, want to
he
stay here?"
he was good for a while. Then he got annoying. He's okay. He's better now, I guess.
Well, because when he becomes the heel broadcaster,
Eh. When
he
he starts
goes.
talking about his wife, I'm like, we get it. We get it. You're horny.
I mean, look, if I could go backstage with my wife, soon as the show, soon as her matches, like, granted, he can't go anywhere. He got to be there the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. But it's very much like a Sammy Ties situation in which that one person is making me hate seeing the other, and I feel bad because they did nothing wrong. They just chose the wrong person to be romantically involved in.
I just really wish, like, it is amazing how terrible Tony Khan is as an executive.
Oh my god, he's so bad.
It's like I never thought
Like
nobody would be
running
this
a
fucking
show
bad.
is already has so many problems, but dear lord, I know we talked about the CM Punk of it all last time, but
Look, you got Andrade and Sammy. Sammy gets into it with everybody, and Sammy was on TV. They sent Andrade home and told Sammy, "Yeah, you're gonna be in the main event." What?
it's so fucking wild. Like from all the reports that like Sammy did not like he did nothing in that fight. He just like walked backstage, got jumped, and just didn't even fight back. And I'm like, all right, I guess that's like something.
The
But
smart thing to do per se, because if I
yeah,
don't swing, I can't get in trouble.
yeah. But like if that man never tweeted, he would be in so much less trouble with people. Like Andrade clearly starting shit. Sammy just added into the fire. If he didn't respond, this probably wouldn't have happened. And like we get Andrade wants to leave, but like man, he's going about it the lucha way, and that's so fucked up.
Yeah, he's definitely going about the lucha way. He's definitely doing. This is what we did in Mexico, which is also that's another thing that's hilarious. This is how much again Tony Khan is fucking up. You were able to get all these people over because Vince McMahon was still terrible and released them, and everybody was like, "Well, fuck it, I'm gonna go to AEW. It's gonna be a fun time." And then all of a sudden, Vince is gone. Triple H has the show. Everybody was like, "Excuse me, what? Hey,
Yeah,
how do I get my release?"
yeah,
Like,
like yeah, you pick up Andrade and Miro, and you barely do anything with either of them. Like Miro had that hot streak at the start, then like he went away for a while.
his back was messed up for a minute. I will give him
Yeah,
that.
he wanted to heal, and like that was the safety net of AEW. You were encouraged to heal, take time off to heal. Like you
Mm-hmm.
didn't. There wasn't the extreme paranoia like with Vince, where like you would just lose your spot entirely. And I don't know if Miro wants to go back or not. Who knows? But like the rumor is that I get to work on other stuff too while I'm not in with AEW. Like
Yeah, because he just did a movie.
yeah, like he's doing like Hollywood stuff, and he's allowed to do all his gaming stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And but like there's the question like, would you be allowed to do that if you went back to WWE? And who
Well, the
knows?
gaming shit. Well, look, the gaming shit has already opened the door because they were like, "Yo, you can switch and you can Twitch and stream and keep all your shit," because that was how you got Zelina back.
Yeah, yeah,
You could like, "Yo, you can," because look, you can make this money, and then you can make this money and you can keep it. Like
yeah.
it's not, oh, you can make this money and we got to get a cut of it. Nah, because that was changing. But again, when people are like, "Hey, it's fun," and people, when Finn Balor said, "Yo, people listen to your ideas now."
Yeah, like it's great for them. I'm happy that people are happy working there again. I mean, I remember the stories, just like the rumors of like people that just work in the Stanford offices are no longer afraid to go to work.
No, I don't
They're
blame
not
them.
worried about getting in an elevator with Triple H that like they would be with Vince McMahon. Oh, you coughed? All right, well you're fired.
You're
How
like,
dare you be human?
how dare you be here? How dare you have a regular life?
Yeah.
And again, it's just I'm at the point. I'm like, look, for everybody that's there, you can see people are having fun. You can see these programs that are playing out. You can see people just being loose. And also, Triple H was like, listen, he knew that the roster was depleted. when all of a sudden, that's why it wasn't just he wanted to bring all his people back. The roster was depleted.
Yeah. And they still have a massive roster, but AEW has too big a roster for the few shows that they have. God,
Give him 2 years.
Look, you cannot make me care about Ring of Honor. I'm sorry. It's the year 2022. I do not care about Ring of Honor.
You've done nothing to make. I don't give a shit that Jericho's the champion. Ring of Honor should have his own show. But here's what's finna fuck AEW up.
Just keep it dark. Just give it a YouTube show like it deserves. That's my feeling.
When they move AEW to HBO Max, it's gonna be some shit.
Oh. Care to elaborate?
AEW finna get moved to it's not pulling the numbers for TNT and TBS. So they're gonna put it on the streaming service.
Interesting.
They're thinking about putting it on the streaming service.
As like a weekly thing?
Probably so.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Jay. If there's less commercials, I'm into that. Also, I don't have to deal with Sling anymore, so like I can be like more live.
Yeah,
so that's kind of nice.
The word is it's supposed to be going to HBO Max.
I mean, look, we'll see how long they survive with what's his face in charge. David, what's his name? Who knows? That's trying to gut everything.
Zaslav dude.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: even when the Bucks and Omega come back, I don't think anybody realizes that's not enough.
I don't know. Well, we don't. I'm not wrestling. I'm not Brandon Thurston looking at the numbers, so we'll see what happens. It's still the one I watch most regularly because group chats. But like now that like Triple H, Vince is gone, I have dipped my toes back into watching WWE every now and then. Mostly just Monday because that's when I remember. And Fridays are hard, and NXT, I'm like, oh yeah, right, that exists.
Which again, it's
and yet I love like all the women on there. So most of the women.
It's hard to sit there and be like, yeah, NXT. It's like it's trying to get back to what Triple H made it. Yeah. But it's difficult because like I don't give a shit about Ilya Dragunov, whatever his name is, and Tyler Bate. I don't care about them.
I love Toxic Attraction though, or at least 2/3 of them.
What, you don't like Mandy?
No, I love Mandy. I love Mandy and not Gigi.
Wait, what did Gigi do?
She's part of the whole Darby Allin problem.
Wait,
because when they were together.
Okay, because I knew they were married, and I knew she separated him from all the bullshit.
Yeah, so the lady that called out Darby Allin, for all the stuff. Well, Gigi got involved, or Priscilla. That's easy to remember. Is that
I know? Yeah.
Yeah. And the lady's like, you were involved too. Like you tried to gaslight me all this time too. So it's just like, well, I've got to go with the victim here. So it's one of those things like, well, damn, that's depressing.
Oh, didn't realize that. I thought it probably was like just stick up for your husband first and foremost. Like,
maybe it's that, but also like, apparently there's accusations of her gaslighting or abuse shaming or whatever. I don't know.
But is that okay? Now I get it in regards to you shouldn't gaslight people and abuse shame. I understand that. But those aren't. I don't think that is as high as what Darby Allin is accused.
No, but like it's culpable. You're still culpable. Okay. If you're involved, then you're doing all that,
Okay, I got what you're saying.
Yeah. Like you knew what he was doing. You said nothing. And you also tried to bully me into silence. So
because that now in regards to that when you put it that way,
yeah, sorry.
Totally fucking get it.
Yeah.
Totally
I don't know if the tweet's still up there, but and I also don't remember the victim's name. But like, it's one of those things where you could probably Google and see if it pops up.
Darby Allin situation.
I mean, like my favorite thing was like when what's her name? She had the skateboarding gimmick where Darby is like, I skateboard in my real life, and she's like, yeah, well, I don't rape people in my professional life.
That was her.
Yeah.
Okay,
she just like lit a match, tossed it in the room, walked away. He's like, yeah, no.
Everybody was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, like that. The problem with WWE is there's still so many abusers there. I'm like, all right, this is just dealing with this. Can't be helped. They're everywhere. So
Yeah, this is one of the things. It's funny because we were talking about me and a bunch of the people on the show that I just did this weekend. We were talking about it, like how different people got called out and different things. Like they were talking about, like first of all, the history of SoCal wrestling, and SoCal wrestling is not a thing without one particular person, Joey Ryan.
Mm.
It's unfortunate, but like
Yeah.
if you do the documentary of SoCal wrestling and how boom, if it's not for Joey Ryan with PWG and Bar Wrestling, then nothing explodes out this way. But
I
then you
mean,
start. Go ahead.
okay, well, like the other thing can be said. Yeah, Brit Res. Oh, all of Brit Res is terrible. Apparently.
All of Brit Wrestling is all just abusers, violence, and just
Yeah, abusers and pedophiles. Okay.
wait, who's the pedophile?
Marty. There's a lot. There's quite a few, but Marty was like the big one.
Marty who?
What's his face? The
Marty
umbrella guy.
Scurll?
Yeah, him. Mr. Serena Deeb.
Wait, what? I must have missed all this.
Oh yeah, this was a big thing. And he said, "Well, actually, she was like close enough and we were drinking." Like he tried to defend it. That's why like there was like a week where they brought him back for BTE. Then this came out and then he was gone again. This is why like when he was taking over Ring of Honor, all of that suddenly stopped.
Oh yeah, because everybody was like, he's the booker.
Yeah, he was going to be the booker for a while. And like things were looking well. Like Ring of Honor might be interesting. They're doing a new women's tournament. They're doing like all this like all pushing all these other things, and then people spoke out about him.
Oh shit! Hold on. That is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and like I remember for years people used to call him a nonce, and I was like, hey, what is this? And it's like, yeah, it's an inside joke. I'm like, that seems weird to joke about. Is it real? And everybody's like, well, we're not actually going to definitively say anything, but
Marty Scurll has been spotted at a New Year. Okay, so this was New Year's of 2021. They was like, yeah, he's holding a dog. It was like the pedophile. Somebody wrote the pedophile who tried to justify sleeping with a drunk 16-year-old.
mm-hmm. Oh, like he tried to like. I remember. I think one of the defenses like, well, the age of consent over here is 16. It's like, fuck you.
But that's how they tried it. That is literally it's fucked up. But that's how a lot of people have gotten by, like, because what we consider our age of consent, they don't. That's like some states that consider, even though we know it's a fucking teenager, still a child.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter, buddy. It can be your like that's your country's problem, but like, look, you still deserve to be judged because that is still a child. 18-year-olds aren't even actually smart enough, but we've all agreed that like 18 is like the legal thing, I guess. But like,
Serena Deeb says she got implants for quote unquote sick old perverts is a direct shot at her being in a relationship with Marty Scurll, a pedophile. Huh?
yeah, aren't they married? I think.
They should be as of now.
Yeah, like that's why like it's also depressing seeing her on. Not only is it because she's a boring wrestler and a boring character, also like when I'm like, yeah, she's married to good old Marty. So it's just like, oh, you're just like you haven't done anything gross yourself. You're just like, I support this man though.
Okay, so this was in 2020. I'm looking at it now. Marty Scurll had been accused of pedophile over the years, but a girl has come forward in a speaking out movement to share a story about Scurll sexually abusing her when she was intoxicated at the age of 16. She said they were running a show, blah, blah, blah. She was drunk. She was incredibly drunk for a 16-year-old. Unfortunately, again, overseas, especially in like Europe and England, them motherfuckers drink all the time at all ages, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. But like
Later on
also
in life.
like
Go
dudes
ahead.
dudes ply young women with drinks also all the time there
All the
too.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
Said he was like, yo, they were outside of the party venue. Said he spent a while saying we should go back together. Let's go back to the hotel and fuck. I told him. She said I don't have a room for my hotel key. My friend has the only one. I remember that I did actually go inside and tell a friend I was about to head off with Marty. She wouldn't give me the keys because she thought it was a bad idea, despite knowing I couldn't get into my hotel room. He walked me back to my hotel. For context, it was kind of a small independent hotel. Said once we got outside my room in this empty, quiet hallway, he sat on the chair, got his penis out, and told me to suck it. So I did. After a little while, he found a cupboard opposite my room full of sheets, took me in there, got me to stand up, pulled my underwear down. Remember, I'm 16 at this time. The whole time he was giving me position to stick.
We don't need to go through all this on air, Jay.
Yeah, this is true.
like,
oh, okay.
Content warning, folks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's not good. It fucking sucks.
Wow.
Piece of trash, garbage. Sorry to bear that bad news. I don't know if you cared about him.
I'm not
so.
a Marty Scroll fan anyway,
Yeah,
so it doesn't really like affect me either way. I just didn't notice. I just didn't know. I knew, you hear so many people who've had those stories, and so many people who, have come out and all this other stuff, and so you're like,
look,
oh shit, I missed one.
Yeah, there's a lot. I don't remember all of them. There's certain ones I definitely remember of like being trash. I don't remember why. I know Jordan Devlin's trash, but Riddle, I remember Riddle being trash. Obvious things. So,
which supposedly got settled and pushed away.
Yeah, doesn't mean it's not guilty. It just means a settlement was made.
But let me ask your thoughts on this. You hear people say they want justice, and they telling people so people can find out and know about these people or whatever situation may happen, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the thing is, the moment a monetary value is brought up for your silence, you take it.
I mean, so the issue is like you got to think about the amount of pressure that will constantly be on them if they don't take that settlement, and like, oh, I have to keep paying for lawyers while searching for justice, or do I want to end this and just like get on with my life, And like, it's never going to be justice. It's just like, okay, maybe it's hush money, like, Vince McMahon paid so many women.
Yes.
But like, it doesn't mean other people shouldn't know about it.
Okay. I just was trying to I never really looked at it as far as, yes, it's going to be a long process, right?
Yeah,
I get that.
And historically, things don't go in the victim's favor.
True, but I think historically, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, things are starting to change. I mean, some things are starting to change. Like,
we can only hope, but like until like, it's so like we've talked about this before, like regards to the Enzo situation. All that the most that like police can prove is sex happened. It's very hard to prove that an assault happened.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just like, so this is what you gotta. That's why most of the time, like a DA will not take a court to case because, hey, if I can't win this, I'm not taking it to a case. If there's not a chance I can win this, so that's why like so many victims are just like, courts don't help, police don't help. Public opinion is the best way, but now there's a lot of people like, I will defend the person accused to my dying days.
Yeah, because this motherfucker's defending Ezra Miller like it ain't no tomorrow.
Yeah.
That shit right there, that one is something for me that's like, are you fucking serious?
It's baffling. I hate it. It's just
all
like...
Right, before we get ready to get out of here, thoughts on the She-Hulk finale?
I fucking loved it. It's everything I wanted. It's so good. I was like, wait, I didn't hit the home menu. Oh, you clever girl.
Everybody was like, wait, what? I was like, that was so smart.
Also, if I hit the home menu, it wouldn't come to this. Oh, you clever girl. I would have seen Kevin. No one sees Kevin. It was so great. And like you, I love all the fucking jokes. It's like, can you change off camera? It's pretty expensive.
The visual team has gone to something else.
Yeah, and like another like podcast is like, that feels weird making fun of it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this joke was written before we knew about the VFX team talking about how like they're used and abused by Disney. This show was written so long ago.
This show was written almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's like,
it's crazy because
like I acknowledge that the VFX team are abused by Disney, But that joke was not making fun of the team being abused. It was written so long ago because they knew they're a TV show that they don't have a great budget already. And look, the turnaround on MCU. And like I can, yeah, the people that hate it, I'm like, you just hate fun. Like that's all I could think of. It's
Whatever.
like,
Oh,
and they say
how did
we love She-Hulk from the comics, and this is, I'm like, this is exactly She-Hulk from the comics.
this
I
is
don't know what
exactly
more
She
you
Hulk.
want. It's
Yeah.
like there was no resolution. I'm like, yeah, that's the point because they made the joke. It was like, or they made the comment like, I don't like when they make fun of me for liking those movies. I'm like, you make fun of those movies for doing the same ending over and over again, though. Like that they're doing the joke that we all talk about.
They pay attention to the internet. They
Yeah.
this show was this was a whole we see you internet show. They gave
Yeah.
you 9 episodes of everything you've talked about on the internet. I'm gonna show you. We're gonna throw it right back at you because especially all the dudes that get mad and it's like you think they just did this. You think they just wrote this show last year. This is 3 years ago. They predicted every single reaction that every dude would all these dudes would have.
Yeah, it was funny because like that one Slack, there's one other person that messaged me, and it's literally like after the intelligentsia reveal thing about like it's basically just MRAs and you
Yeah.
know, and it's like hey, he just messaged me, hey, the intelligentsia is logged on because like the MCU chat was just loaded of more and more like whiner babies like just complaining about the show and not for like the typical misogyny stuff. It's just I think their problem is that they are improv comedians, and I bet comedians have higher standards of what they want from comedy. That's my theory of New York improv comedians. If
see my
look,
face.
hey, if you're in the one-on-one chat and you're a New York improv comedian, sorry, that's how I feel about you, I guess.
It's just I don't like improv. I care less for improv comedians anyway. It's just that like when people were mad, oh, how did Abomination get so much bigger than the Hulk? How did we go from this to this? It was the point of
Like,
saying
it's a joke. That's
it
like
was a joke.
it's so dumb. Like, you know, there's the idea. I'm like, oh, Lita is just this guy. Oh, it's worth it for this joke in which none of this matters anyway. Like
None of
Jen
this
is just
matters.
sick of her story and just and she like people complain about her not being a lawyer when she literally lawyers Kevin to get her own ending. And
Literally.
then on top of it, which I liked even more, Bruce shows up with his son, like because Kevin demanded that earlier. It's like, no, Bruce has to show up to talk about where he's been and introduce his son. And like, so like all negotiations, Jen got a lot of what she wanted, but she had to give up some stuff that she didn't want.
And it wasn't gonna. And I guarantee you, I guarantee the next time we see Scar, he's going to look different.
Yeah, like, and he didn't have he wasn't full CGI like Jen and Bruce were, right? Like,
No,
because I know the actor, I can't remember what show that actor was. Oh, he's from Stargirl. He was on Stargirl season
Okay.
1. Yeah, he was like the magician's son.
oh, okay, I know who that is. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
But oh my god, that opening, the '70s Hulk opening.
I lost it.
The problem with that was like, it's so good, but I'm like, they got a green painted lady and she looks incredible. I kind of wish we had a green painted lady.
Yeah, it kind of because it was like, fuck, we could have did practical, but again, with practical, you can't have Tatiana.
That's the problem because Tatiana's so good that you need the CGI.
You need it was like you couldn't have both. Like you needed Tatiana for that, but at the same time, like if she was just a savage She-Hulk where she didn't talk or anything, that works.
Or like, I don't know, Tatiana's so great. Can she get by just doing the Jen scenes and you find like a cool, tall, muscular lady that's also good for the comedy of Jen or She-Hulk scenes? That's a hard search.
So a lot of times, so every single time, the only time is Tatiana Maslany is when you're looking at her face, when you see
Yeah.
her face on. The other times she has a double. That's like
no, I mean like for acting wise, the Tatiana
yeah,
delivery
yeah.
for all the Jen stuff, does it work where if she's only playing Jen and somebody else is playing She-Hulk? Can you find somebody that's good with that delivery? That's not my job. I don't work in Marvel casting. Seems real hard, but like you hired Jamila Jamil to play Titania. Just
and
for
she
height,
did a
I think just for height mostly. I guess she works with the influencer character. I still my dream casting for that still Becky Lynch would have been perfect for
as
Titania.
Titania,
God, yes. Big time Bex also can do the influencer thing.
but she's just too small.
Yep, it's Hollywood. Get a soapbox or something. Get an apple crate. She got those arms. That's
I
all
mean,
you
I
need.
agree. I just think she was too small for it.
Yeah, like that's the thing. But like, also, look, height doesn't matter with superpowers. You could be real super strong kid. You could be a little tiny shrimpy boy, super strong, because powers are silly.
This is true. Listen, I got to get ready to get out of here so I can get to this fucking screening. You are amazing, and I love your Scooby Doo shirt that I know is now not a real estate blazer that I see you on a bus stop with. Tell the people everything you got going on, Divas by Design, all the good stuff.
You can follow me at Jolene Double O Negative on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. Still haven't twitched so many months. Don't even know if it still works. You can follow my podcast at Divas of Design. We're gonna be recording tonight. Tonight's our Halloween spooky design episode. That's on Twitter and Instagram at Divas of Design. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those. If we're not on a place and you want to request it, reach out to us.
Love it. Y'all already know where I'm at. I'm here and everywhere else. I'm about to go be some other place. Like, I'm gonna go see this movie, and I'm not like, this ain't one of those, here I go. And it's still like at the same time, it's like, oh, here I go. It's just like, all right, let me go see this to review it. Like, that's literally.
It could be a movie where like, I could go to the bathroom. I don't care.
We shall see. I will holler at y'all later. Take care. We're out. Bye.